I said it before and I'll say it again.
That scene, that last scene.
What does it mean?
I'm the dude, you know?
Get the fuck out of here. No, I cannot. That final scene starts now.
Hello. We are back. My name is Sophie, and I am joined by my co-hosts, Ben and Simon.
Yeah, we're back.
And I want to say Happy New Year, but then you're going to tell me off.
It's too late. It's done. It's the 17th of January.
Yeah,
I need to stop.
But I'm feeling miserable. I think in January, where I'm having the January blues. I don't know. I think it's because I was telling Ben earlier, I'm in army mode because I had so much alcohol and food over the holidays where now I'm just like dim, protein, no alcohol. So I have zero serotonin in my system right now.
G.I. Jane style.
G.I. Jane style, yeah, for Jan.
But normally when people tell me they're doing that, they're like, oh, I feel so renewed.
Oh, bullshit. It's bullshit. It's horrible.
So why are you doing it?
Ginger shots every morning.
Yeah, I just have to get back on track. Like, I'm doing it for a month and I'm playing Call of Duty.
Playing Call of Duty does not track with being healthy.
That's army mode though, isn't
No,
it?
it does.
Okay,
It does
yeah.
because you forget to eat or snack more specifically.
That is true.
Because you're so ensconced in the game.
Yeah.
I understand that. I can play video games for hours.
Yeah.
Ellie sometimes will say to me, like, if she leaves me playing video games and she's going out for a few hours, she'll be like, no, you will remember to feed yourself right. And inevitably what happens is she will arrive home and I will not have moved. I will be in the same position. I may have made a pot of tea, but that will be it. I will not have eaten because I'm just ensconced, or like I'm just in the game.
There you go.
I'm living the life.
Ben, you haven't touched your tea bucket.
I know, yeah, literally, yeah. I've got like a trough. It's great. It's my gaming trough.
So how were your holidays? I mean, Ben, you mentioned you've been watching a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I did. Well, so I think we said that. I said that in the last episode that I was going to like write a list of things to do and to watch over Christmas.
Oh yeah, you read it out actually, didn't you?
Yeah, I read it out. No, I didn't get to a lot. I got to a few. So I've got the list of things I watched over Christmas.
What got in the way?
Christmas and like wedding planning and all this kind of jazz.
Right.
It was quite a busy time.
Did you watch Father of the Bride?
No,
Steve Martin.
No, we didn't actually. Maybe I'll watch that. Maybe the episode before I actually head off to get married.
That'll give you empathy with how your parents might feel.
Okay, fair enough. I'll think about that one. So I said I'd watch Avatar: Way of the Water, and I did. I watched Rebel Moon, which I will come back to in a second because I
loved
think
your commentary.
I was going to say I think the only way to do it justice in my description of it is just read out the text that I sent to Simon and Sophie. I watched Last Night in Soho, which I wasn't crazy on. I have to say, it's like I don't know if you know, so it's an Edgar Wright movie who did like Shaun of the Dead and stuff, and it's basically. It's kind of like a horror movie, kind of psychological thriller thing about a girl who like moves to London from Cornwall to study like fashion. But basically it's kind of like a Sixth Sense thing where she can like see people who have like been murdered or have died in the past. And it's about her, like she basically is living in this room that used to be lived in by a woman who was killed in the 60s. And it's just, it kind of like meanders a little bit. I don't know what it is about it. Like I normally love his movies, but it kind of just like bobs around a bit and kind of weaves. And there's an amazing dance sequence in it. Like don't get me wrong, like technically like it's really cool.
And the set design, yeah, it's great.
And the set design is great and the costumes are great.
Yeah.
But the story itself is just it's a bit dull for him.
Yeah, my reaction of that was first half incredible, great premise. Second half really bad execution. The boyfriend ruined it, like especially towards the third act. It just like got very annoying.
Yeah, and like there's some good, like Matt Smith's really good in it, I think. Like he's
everyone's
amazing
great.
in it, and everyone's really good in it. And Thomasine McKenzie.
Yes, he's amazing.
And Anya Taylor-Joy, they're all really good. And it's Diana Rigg's last ever film as well, and she's brilliant in it as well, and she's really good. But yeah, I didn't really enjoy it that much. I basically watched 2 movies in one night after watching Rebel Moon to try and like right the wrongs of the cinema world. I watched Gone in 60 Seconds as well because I wanted some good. It was on Disney Plus, and I wanted some good like noughties 90s Nicolas Cage tat, which that film truly is. It's so good at it. And yeah, so I will before I go on to the thing that I started watching recently that actually is really good. I will read out the running commentary that I gave to Simon and Sophie for Rebel Moon, and hopefully it does enough for all of you that you don't need to watch it yourselves. I initially said to the guys, I'm going to take the bullet for the three of us. Wish me luck. First text was 12 minutes and 59 seconds in, first bit of slow motion. Next text was, okay, so 24 minutes in, and in reference to a young woman, a soldier has just said, that's how I like them, strong enough to put up a fight. If an example was needed of how Snyder takes things people love and turns them into something for frat boy assholes, this is it. Okay, guys, quick update. After a short tea break, 54 minutes in, and another fight has been started based on an alien wanting to buy a man for sex. Just thought you'd want to know. Yeah. Oh, and Charlie Hunnam has an Irish accent. Why? I don't know. Next text message was a picture of Ed Scarron being basically molested is probably the word by these giant alien tentacles with, in screaming capital letters, what the fuck is going on? Then the next text, after a few hours interlude and half a bottle of wine, I've returned to Rebel Moon and my God, the CGI keeps getting worse. And then, okay, last text of the day, finally finished Rebel Moon and that movie fucking sucks. That is all. It was so bad. It was genuinely dreadful. I felt the same way about Avatar Way of the Water as well, actually. Except that was a little bit more visually appealing than anything in Rebel Moon could have been. It was just so dreadful.
A step back on Rebel Moon, how was it perceived? I mean, I didn't follow the conversation online. Like, did the critics like it?
No, I don't think so.
It was like, yeah.
No, I think it was like just 2 stars kind of stuff across the board.
It's just like fanboys.
It's like some interesting people being like, there's some interesting fight scenes in it, but that's kind of it. It's basically, you know, Star Wars for frat bros and kind of stuff like that.
Does it have like franchise? But like,
well, there's another one.
Really?
And that's the annoying thing about it is that I said this to someone the other day, is that having watched part 1, part 2 comes out at Easter. And I have time off at Easter as well, guys. I have some days off. And I really feel like I'm going to have to watch it as well. Who knows? Maybe I'll take to Twitter this time and I'll tweet my way through the film or X my way through the film, whatever the hell you say nowadays. But I went into it thinking, there's some like really cool actors in this, you know, like I think I give Zack Snyder too much credit every time I watch one of his films and I go, do you know what? He always talks about like how passionate he is about source material. So like when he made Watchmen, he talked about how much he loved the comic books and all that kind of stuff. He did the same thing when he made Superman and Justice League. Rebel Moon is basically his pitch for a Star Wars movie. I think he pitched it to Disney as like, this is my idea, what you do with the Star Wars franchise. And no fucking wonder they said no. They clearly saw this and were like, pass.
Bad dialogue and semi-decent acting aside, is it the plot interesting?
No,
it's not.
No, it's just boring and it's just like generic sci-fi story. There's nothing interesting about it. Former like soldier who amazing warrior goes into hiding because of all the things she did wrong, and then living life as humble farmer. Oh no, here come the bad guys who basically want to murder and rape everyone. She must take up arms again to fight for what is right. And you're like, and yet, in the first 20 minutes, there is so much conversation about grain, like harvesting grain. You're just like, surely, like in sci-fi movies, like in Avatar, they go about like this fuel source that the Earth needs. In Rebel Moon, it's like looking for grain to feed someone's soldiers. And you're like, Jesus Christ, how much can you talk about harvesting? And then eventually they fuck off and it just gets worse. It's so weird. Like it's really, really weird.
It wasn't anything good.
Not really. I mean, I did. So I started watching Slow Horses. I don't know if you've watched that.
I have.
It's on Apple TV.
Not the last season.
So we watched the first 2 seasons and I really liked it. I thought it was really good. What did you think?
You know, just one of those things where you're like, it's technically very good, but I'm just not feeling it.
Yeah. I think you'd like it. So it's based on these like spy novels, but basically the idea is slow horses are the people who fuck up so massively in MI5, but it's like, well, we can't cut them loose. So we basically send them to do the busybody work for other people. And it's this department that's run by Gary Oldman, who is like this
Gary Oldman
sleazy,
is great in this.
like arsehole old like MI5 agent who's been there since like the Cold War and stuff like that. And like he's like disgusting. He just like farts all the time and he smokes cigarettes and he's an arsehole. And it's really well written and it's really well done. And like even that, it's nice because also it's only 6 episodes in that like good English TV style of way. It's like it's not 20 episodes of a season or even 10 where there's like so much suspense and so much going on. But it's just, yeah, it's really funny, but then also like it works really well. Like it's a really good cast of like British actors and stuff in it. And then the second season I would say is as good, if not better.
Is it on the level of Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, not as
Gritty.
Yeah, not as gritty as Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, but there are elements of it there for sure. It's weird because it is a drama, but it also has like really good like light moments in it as well. Like Gary Oldman's character is like, he's kind of so disgusting and so deplorable that you kind of just have to laugh at him every now and again, and the kind of absurdity of the situations that are in the TV show. But yeah, it works really well. I think it's really, really well done. As I say, I think you really enjoy it.
Did you guys watch Society of the Snow? The Netflix film?
No, that's the true story, isn't it? About
You'd love it.
the plane that crashes in the Alps.
Yeah.
Is that what Alive was about in the 90s?
1972.
Where they eat each other?
Yeah.
Yes, 1972.
Yeah, and they have to carve like bits of flesh off each other. And
They have, the dead bodies. They didn't eat people alive. Yeah.
It's a true story, isn't it?
It's a true
it's a real
story. It's just fascinating. And I mean, obviously because of the subject matter, but it's also so well done.
Yeah.
So well recommend that one.
What's it called again?
Society of the Snow on Netflix. And I think it's probably, I'm not saying it's gonna pick up like an Oscar, but I think it's gonna be nominated. Like it's
Is it a movie? I thought it was a TV show.
Oh, it's a movie. No, it's a movie.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a TV show.
Yeah. So the TV show that's inspired by it is Yellow Jackets that I brought up in the past, but it's like with women on the flip side.
See, my issue with that is I'm so terrified of flying. The idea of watching a movie where a plane crashes just fills me with so much dread. But then again, these people survive the crash and then eat one another.
Yeah,
so actually, I might watch it and go, listen, the worst thing that happens is I survive the crash and I eat people.
It's a wicked adventure.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I bring it up is because I feel like with TikTok, there is this new phenomenon where you watch something and then the conversation continues online.
Yeah.
And I mean, we had that in the past, even with Twitter or with, maybe never Instagram, but with TikTok, it's like you tend to see the behind the scenes of the behind the scenes now. So I watched the movie and then you go on TikTok and you just see interviews from the survivors where they go on a press tour to promote the movie and they tell their story. And it's like, oh my God, I want to...
So wait, is there like interviews of people who ate people?
Yep. They had to come out and admit to it because they had to be put on trial.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
No,
I don't know anything about the background.
So the people that had to eat people to survive had to go on trial for it?
Yeah, because
because no matter what, cannibalism is illegal, like even if the person's dead, yeah.
So what happened?
Yeah.
This is really interesting. I'm fascinated by it. Yeah. I never thought about the ramifications of it.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. So the movie doesn't explore that, which is a bit of a shame, but it was already a long film. And I think it's gripping enough to just be like, this is what happened. But the aftermath was that they actually had to lie. No, well, they didn't have to. They lied about what happened. They were just like, oh yeah, we just ate some plants or whatever. And
Jay died of natural causes and then just disappeared. He's buried in the snow somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. And then obviously they found the bones and like the half-eaten body. So they had to come out. So they did go through the entire...
This just reminds me of in The Simpsons, the episode where, have you seen the episode where Homer climbs the mountain called the Murder Horn? And that it's supposed to be this like Mount Everest style movie. And he basically, he gets sponsored by these power bars to like climb the movie. And he gets halfway up the mountain and they're like, Homer, you need to come down. They're not even made out of apples. They're made out of old Chinese newspapers. But he gets the whole thing is that Grandpa tried to climb the mountain at one point and he climbed it with this other guy who was never seen again. And they get up to this point of the mountain and they find the guy who's like, he's like frozen in the snow and he has like a chunk taken out of his arm. Wow. And Grandpa Simpson's teeth fall out of his mouth and perfectly land in the tooth marks. And they're like, holy shit. And then they find the guy's note and he's like, that bastard Abe Simpson tried to eat my arm.
Oh, goodness. No, like there's this whole like side culture on TikTok where like you hear these interviews post movie. You even had like Tom Holland interviewing one of the survivors and like, what is going on? So I thought that was a bit weird, but no, I think it's worth watching the movie just because like, obviously like it's fascinating. It's a fascinating story and like what they had to go through in order to survive and how they were discovered. They didn't just like wait around. They had to go into they had to do some stuff.
I got Barbenheimer bought for me on Blu-ray over Christmas. And the glory of opening up the Oppenheimer case and seeing there was 2 discs because there's like a special features disc as well. Do you think we'll get to a stage where people like Netflix and stuff like that will start doing like you'll click into the movie and there's like special features like director's commentary? Because they don't do much of that, do they?
I'm surprised they don't.
Like director's commentary behind the scenes. Like we watched Barbie on New Year's Eve, and then I just ended up sitting there for like 20 minutes watching all the extra featurettes of just like the 10-minute video of them talking about like how they did the dance scene. You're like, all this kind of shit that is really interesting for like, you know, movie buffs to watch. And
I'm
see what's
surprised
going
they don't. I'm guessing they only like platforms like Netflix only get to do it for.
Does Netflix do director's commentary?
Well, for Stranger Things, you have a bunch of like post. Yeah, it's also like what percent of people are actually going to watch the stuff for for every
I'd
single
watch it.
no you would, but like for 99% of the Netflix movies you wouldn't because they're bad.
It's only like really special films that you bothered or TV series.
Exactly.
Where you
And Netflix doesn't have that very often, does it?
So like that's the thing, like I haven't watched it yet, but I want to watch the Oppenheimer ones because like I'm really interested to know like how they did all the visual effects and like all the different like the science behind the movies and stuff like that is really interesting.
I mean you bring up a great point. I'm surprised like Netflix doesn't have some sort of like for you page by now where you can just like go into a rabbit hole of like Barbie or whatever the movie is and just
because I think my view is that the reason why we're getting longer and longer films at the moment is because of streaming services wanting eyeballs for longer and longer and longer, which makes loads of sense. So why wouldn't they want to get even more minutage out of you by releasing director's commentary and extra features?
Sure.
Yeah, there must be
Well, that's
reason.
the thing. Like that Rebel Moon film is all over 2 hours long. I mean, outrageous.
Damn.
Oh, I watched Aquaman 2, by the way, as well.
Oh, goodness.
That was fucking crap.
Yeah, I could only imagine.
But do you know what? I will say for that. Do you know what? I'll give Aquaman 2 its credit. Jason Momoa and Patrick Wilson are like, if you just strip everything else away and you watch that as like a buddy cop movie between the two of them, really funny.
Yeah.
Really, really funny. Everything else in it is just ludicrous, like absolutely outrageous. And it doesn't even look that good, I don't think. It's funny how like all the underwater bits look great, and as soon as there's CGI above ground, it somehow looks like the budget went out the window.
And they cut Amber Heard almost entirely. Like I heard that her role was very
she's
reduced.
like severely reduced in it. Yeah, I thought
Well, not that
strange.
I loved her as Mira or whatever her name is, but I mean, so it's forgettable, but fine.
What about you, Si? How was your Christmas and New Year's and movie watching?
I continued my quest into implausible 90s movies that I quite enjoy rewatching.
Okay.
And I watched, well, I'll give you a clue. It's actually
I love a
1999.
Okay.
Ashley Judd,
Oh,
Plus-
iconic.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Wait, I've seen this movie. Fuck, what is it? I've seen, and I saw it fairly recently.
Quite twaddly, but quite highly watchable.
I saw it fairly recently as well.
I'm going to need another clue.
Okay, the principle of the film is around a sort of clause in the US Constitution that says that you can't be tried for the same crime twice.
Yeah, double. Oh my god.
Jeopardy?
Yeah.
Double Jeopardy.
Yes. Oh my god, I watched this film like 6 months ago. A great film.
Really enjoyed it.
Very watchable.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones is classic 90s, my God.
He's like exuding this 90s masculinity.
Is the
that only
Fugitive
existed
is
then.
the Fugitive 90s? Is that 80s?
Well, I think 90s.
Feels 90s.
Or very late 80s.
I didn't kill my family.
Yeah,
I don't care.
That's quite good. Also, that in that category, I've got like Patriot Games. That's
Oh,
yeah.
There's some good Harrison Ford like 90s like not really spy thrillers, but like CIA type thriller, like crappy thriller movies.
Yes, that was good. And then I also did find a Keanu Reeves film that you recommended called
Yes.
John Wick. But I tried to watch the second one and it was so bad I just couldn't be asked.
Really?
for
You
it.
didn't like the second one?
I binned it off.
I didn't mind the second one, to be honest. I actually think the John Wick movies have gotten.
There was just no. I just couldn't. It was just action, but no substance.
You
But it
didn't
wasn't
like.
great.
You didn't like the Peter Serafinowicz scene where he goes shopping. I love that whole. Did you not like that bit where he
can't
goes?
remember.
Oh, it's so good. Where Peter Serafinowicz is like he's basically playing like a maitre d', except instead of food, he's selling guns, and he's like getting the suit, and he's getting the plans, and he's getting all his guns to go on the big assault of the nightclub. Peter Serafinowicz is the one who's like selling him the weapons, and it's just chef's kiss.
I can't knock them as films, but I get it. Like it's the kind I really like John Wick 1.
So
really
I know because I watched it
Yeah.
because you both said how much you just enjoy. They're easy to watch. You really enjoy
the
it.
first
Good
one.
action.
So the rest, I enjoy them in the background.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I need to be like doing my nails, like a spa day. Like I just have to have John Wick in the background.
Yeah.
It feels great.
That's some relentless violence in the background.
I love
keep
it.
me
It's
soothed.
exactly my type of
Yeah.
It's why I play Call of Duty.
Yeah. You're like, in
It looks great.
House of
That's the
Cards.
thing. That's the thing. Like
Yeah.
he's also
Yeah, when he plays Modern Warfare,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Very easy on the eyes. John Wick. Great soundtrack. Easy to watch. It looks great. That's the thing. But
Yeah, it's quite, like,
I agree
stylized,
with
isn't
you
it?
that there's no plot. There's not like a Mission Impossible sort of story.
See, I think I think that's why the first one is so good. Is that the first time you watch it, you're like, I'm willing to suspend the disbelief of all this kind of
It's
stuff.
like got the old
But it
plot
just-
of the assassin that's got to come out of retirement again.
Yeah.
And he digs up his hole in his basement
Yeah.
and he's got his gun.
But also-
collection.
You're
it-
investing in the dog as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
but it's so stupid.
You know
though.
that dog's getting wasted quite quickly.
Yeah, but it's so stupid though. I think that's the thing that's brilliant about
Yeah.
it. It's like because I remember I think you had said being like he's just had a policeman call to the door and the policeman's just walked away. But that scene is just great. He's like,
great.
So what? Tell me
And
about
he-
this scene. So the policeman comes to the door. There's like been shooting for about half an hour.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's relentless. He's literally
I just
killed
like the
about
door, but he
45 people.
But he knows the
in his
policeman.
house.
He knows the policeman by name. He opens the door. He's like, "Evening, Jimmy."
Yeah.
And it's like, "You working again, John?" He's like, "Or no, it's not." It's like noise complaint. Noise complaint. He's like, "Yeah." He's like, yeah. And the guy's like, "You're working again."
So what happens to the bodies? Like, imagine 45 humans that are dead.
Well, so
Where
in-
do they go?
Yeah, but so in the next scene, the guys come to dispose of the bodies. They're like the cleaner guys. Remember? They come in like there's that whole scene where they like wrap them all up in like plastic
Yeah,
wrap
you
and
need
stuff.
like a proper
Yeah.
Yeah.
crew.
It makes Mrs. Doubtfire look like some kind of serious memoir.
You are like, what is that like that game where it's like you need to get to a certain from one thing to another in a certain amount of moves. I think you can probably get to Doubtfire in 3 moves no matter what the conversation is.
True. And then so I watched, that's the second thing I watched. The third thing I watched was Dune.
Oh,
and
the
I'd
new
never
one?
seen that, yeah. But because you were mentioning how often harvesting gets mentioned
Yeah.
in
Rebel Moon.
Rebel Moon. And of course, this film is all about harvesting spice.
Yeah.
So it made me think of that.
How did you end up watching Dune?
Is it any good? I want to watch it because the second one is out soon, and I'm kind of like, oh, if I'm going to see the second one, I should watch the first one.
It's far
very
too
long,
long,
isn't it? Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's just, I could chop 45 minutes out of it
Yeah.
really easily. But I was watching it to find like clips and samples I could use in music because there's lots of like sci-fi,
Yeah.
like vocals.
There's
and
lots
stuff.
of chanting.
It's like Lisa Gerrard in The Gladiator with Hans
Yeah.
Zimmer, but like a different take on it.
Yeah. It's interesting because it's the guy who directed like Blade Runner 2049 and stuff like that, but it just
Denis
feels...
Villeneuve.
Yeah.
The way I'd sum it up is that it's very beautifully shot and it looks
Yeah.
amazing, but it's like the dialogue comes straight from Transformers. It's like
But see,
so
the thing,
basic.
yeah, but see, the thing is that the
No,
dialogue
no.
the dialogue is from a book from like was it the 60s or the
But
70s,
they
like a very early science fiction
spoon
book.
feed the plot to you. Like it's like there's this particular lady, I can't remember which character it was, and she's just constant exposition,
To Rebecca
letting you know
Ferguson.
what's happening. And it's just, I find it really patronizing. And they could have just cut a lot of that out, I think, and let you put 2 and 2 together yourself.
Yeah.
Sophie
no.
hasn't realised that her facial expressions don't come across on a podcast, and we need to
I
say
feel like
something.
I'm dissing something that's very.
No. I'm with you in terms of like you could cut it down, but then you could argue the same thing about each film of his. So I feel like he's the kind of director who really like, I don't have anywhere to go. I'm just gonna have to enjoy it and sit back and enjoy the ride. I also had a very different experience because I watched it on IMAX, right? So I think it's just a
Yeah.
different experience where you just have to like sit back and relax.
Yeah.
I'm not again knocking what you're saying because I did watch it when it first came out. I don't remember going away thinking that the dialogue was bad. I do feel like I actually remember being a bit confused because there are a lot of characters and there's like it's like an origin story and
the cast is huge, yeah.
Cast is huge. A lot of complicated. I mean, it is a clear origin story, but there's just a lot going on.
But isn't it like? I think that was the problem with the original Dune as well, is the fact that it's an incredibly long book.
Yeah, I
that
just
you're
don't
trying
think-
to condense into 2 films. Like the
Yeah.
book is huge and there's so much lore
It's
in it and stuff like that,
huge.
and it's
Yeah.
trying to condense it into
Yeah.
an hour or two, like 2 or 3 hours. Yeah.
Exactly, and it's like I felt the same with the first episode of Game of Thrones. It's just like a mess, like 1,000 characters that you have to sit back and
that's easier to do with TV though, because
sure.
you
I mean,
then have another 9 hours to then kind of delve into it. It's harder with film.
Exactly, for sure. I just remember that same feeling. So I'm hoping that the second one is going to bring it.
So that's what I was going to say. Is it the kind
around.
of thing that you need to watch it like,
almost like a series?
Yeah. like because it is part 1 and part 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the second one is a direct continuation from the first film. Picking up where it left off is going to be one of those things where actually, as a whole, as one 5-hour long epic, it's worth watching.
Yeah.
What about you, Sophie? What did you were in London over Christmas? Apart from playing Call of Duty, what else did you do?
I actually don't remember what I was over Christmas, but I do want to bring up a couple of films. So I was Ferrari, the new Michael Mann film.
With
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver. Funny, a man named Driver being in a film about Ferrari.
Yeah, exactly. And my favorite of all
Nominative
time,
determinism, eh?
Penelope Cruz, who steals the show, and I hope she wins Best Supporting at the Oscars, but I doubt it. I would love for you guys to watch it because I'm still kind of torn about it.
It's kind of like a made-for-TV movie, though, wasn't it? Wasn't it made by like Sky Cinema or something?
Doesn't feel like it. I mean, it feels very high budget. I mean, no high budget. Like it feels like a proper production. I wouldn't say like it's a made-for-TV movie.
Is Adam Driver playing Enzo Ferrari? Is that who he is?
Yes. Yeah. So it is inspired by the 1972 biography, Enzo Ferrari, and it's not like a traditional biopic. It tells like a very specific space in time where Ferrari is about to go bankrupt, and the sort of he rolls the dice on a specific race to kind of take a big gamble there. And what I didn't know about the story is like how much of a big role his wife had in all of this and the company, and she basically saved it. She's like Penelope Cruz, just incredible. Adam Driver, I wasn't sure about him. I think that's what kind of trips me out about the movie, because
he's like in his 30s, early 40s, and he's playing a man who's in like his 70s, isn't he?
It's almost like, when you watch a movie and you're like, I feel like the actor wasn't confident the first 15, 20 minutes, but then he found his groove. Like that's what I got away from him.
Is it a bit like what was that racing driving movie with Christian Bale?
Rush.
No.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale and Matt Damon one.
Le
Mans 66.
Oh, yeah, kind of.
Because there's a whole Ferrari element to that as well, isn't it? Someone plays Enzo Ferrari in that one. Because in America that was called Ford v Ferrari, that film.
Yeah, this one reminded me more of Rush.
Just to make it clear.
I love that it's retitled films.
No, that film reminded me more of Rush. This one felt more like a biopic of someone trying to save his empire. Rush is great, yeah. This one felt more like someone trying to save his empire, and up until the first half, I was like, yeah, that's a decent movie. But the second half is incredible, which is why I'm torn about it, because it focused on the race. And it has like a very Michael Mann scene. That you're like, oh my God, he's bringing it. Like, this is so Michael Mann. And like the entire cinema went, like you could hear like a pin drop. Like,
great.
Yes, I think it's worth it for that
tension.
scene. Yeah, great tension. Like,
very nice.
Yeah, and bringing the man.
Wicked.
The man, the myth, the legend.
So yeah, I think it's worth seeing Ferrari. And then the other film that I watched was May December. Have you heard of that one with Julianne Moore and Natalie Portman? Controversial film by Todd Haynes, who did Carol. And what else? I don't remember, but I know him from Carol.
I recognize the name. Yeah, I recognize the name.
Yeah, Todd Haynes. Yeah. It's a weird one. I also don't
know. What's it about?
Okay, so it's about...
Spill the tea.
So Natalie Portman plays an actress, and she's taking on a role of playing a true crime inspired... telling a true crime inspired tale. And the tale is Julianne Moore, as a teacher, got together with a 13, 14-year-old at a time, had him, basically raped him. And no, that's an actual story. No, it's funny because it's true crimes, like as in it's real life, but also true crime in the movie. It's very meta.
Okay.
So to take a step back, Julianne Moore, as a 25, 30-year-old, don't remember, got together with a 13-year-old. They had sex and they stayed together and they had 3 babies. And somehow, like 20 years later, Natalie Portman is like, oh my God, I want to play you in this film because you have this fucked up story that made it to the tabloids. And then Julianne Moore is like, oh my God, yeah, come and see my great life with, this guy who's clearly fucked up. And the whole story is how how Natalie Portman tends to mirror Julianne Moore because she wants to be like her. Also
So
very
she
fucked
wants
up.
to marry a 13-year-old.
It goes that way.
Oh, God.
It's very Black Swan. I think that's the kind of vibe that it has, very dark.
Okay.
Which is a very Natalie Portman, role to do.
It's her thing.
But Julianne Moore is amazing as well. And it's funny because she's playing an actual person. And like, you can tell the sort of mannerisms he's trying to take and like how a person like that can do something like that and have like zero guilt or has dissociated so much from reality to the point where it's like, what are you talking about? We're in love. Like, I don't know what's wrong with it. Like, he's clearly like having the time of his life with me. And this guy has a story to tell as well. So yeah, no, it's very much like old Hollywood vibe. It does feel like an 80s sort of film, like what's the word? Basic Instinct. Like it has that kind of era.
Quite stylish.
Quite stylish, yeah. And like it has that kind of like slow piano, jazzy.
Bit David Lynchy.
David Lynch, yeah, I could see that. But it's been very controversial, obviously, because of the subject matter, and also because of what it's trying to tell you. And some people, have argued that it's sort of like glamorizing this relationship. I didn't take that away from the film, but I haven't read too much about the actual story. But it's one of those things when when you're watching a film with actresses like that, and you're like, I'm in good hands.
Yeah, two people who are very good at what they do. Yeah,
Paul Giamatti is that for me.
Yeah.
You were saying about Sideways. Yeah. He's your man.
Exactly.
You guys have got to watch it.
Well, we have to.
We
need to watch it together.
Critics' Choice Award. Yeah, he's just won a Critics' Choice Award for The Holdover.
We need to watch The
Who
Holdovers.
is your guys' safe pair of hands then, generally?
Oh, that's a good question.
Who's the actor or actress that you like to see because it's going to be okay?
Penelope Cruz all the time, every time. Yeah, easily. Yeah.
I'm starting to think Cillian Murphy's maybe my guy. I just think at the minute he's on such a roll with so many good things that I'm like, if he's in it, it's probably good. He's an actor who I trust. He probably picks his work so specifically that it's like he probably is only in stuff that he thinks will be good.
What's the name of that movie where he's on that plane with Rachel McAdams? Yeah, Red Eye. That's a great film.
Yeah, that's a great film. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, it just came to me.
Yeah.
What about you, Sai?
What's the amazing Australian actress called in Little Miss Sunshine, whose name I always forget?
Toni Collette.
Yeah,
Toni Collette.
I think she's
Toni Collette's great.
Yeah, Hereditary is questionable,
And
but yeah.
Rachel Weisz.
Yes, that's a great one.
That is a good shout.
Brilliant.
I want to see Dead Ringers, like the Amazon show. I've been hearing good things.
God, I'm really struggling now to think of like safe pair of hands actors that I'm like, yeah, I trust that person.
Ian McKellen. Ian McKellen's a good one.
Yeah, McKellen's a good shout. Probably Patrick Stewart as well.
Patrick Stewart. Yeah.
Hugh Jackman.
Oh no, he's had some. Yeah,
but in the same way that Harrison Ford's had some stinkers.
Oh yeah, I think,
I think
I don't trust their judgment.
Yeah, fair. But then anyone who's as invested in musical theater as Hugh Jackman, there's always going to be a little bit of poor judgment there, no matter what.
Oh,
That's so rude, Ben.
Wait,
you're talking to someone who did Amdram for years. Listen, I am that guy. I also share a birthday with Hugh Jackman, so technically I should have his life in a fairer world. But
with a couple exceptions, Christian Bale.
Ooh,
yeah.
But
Solid.
I think because of that footage that got leaked of him, I'm like, is he a massive bell end? Should I still like his? Like, can I separate the art
from Terminator Salvation?
Yeah,
yeah. Oh my god, yeah. Where he's screaming about the lights. Tom Cruise has one of them as well, doesn't he? From Mission Impossible during COVID.
Yeah,
that was more justified, I guess. But.
Do you know what? Until he slapped Chris Rock, I probably would have said Will Smith. But now I just don't trust him at all.
Wow.
His movies.
Is he not back now? I mean, he had a movie.
Emancipation. Yeah, he's.
Is that the one? Oh,
that was
his apology
the
film.
Antoine Fuqua.
Like going back.
I think he's probably trying to bring himself back. I don't know how much he's doing though. I do wonder if he'll like take a backseat and produce for a while.
Yeah.
Who's the actor in Donnie Darko? What's he called?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, he's a
who
good
is
egg,
going
yeah.
to be in Roadhouse. He's in the
Ooh.
Roadhouse
Oh,
sequel.
well,
Yeah, he's Patrick Swayze in the new Roadhouse.
But that's going to be quite jokey though, and Jake's normally quite serious.
Yeah, he's gonna have to pull it off.
Well, I would say so. I know you don't like superhero movies, but Jake Gyllenhaal is in Spider-Man: Far From Home, and as like the bad guy, and he's brilliant in it. And it's kind of like there's kind of like some comedy, funny moments in it, and he does it really well.
That's the one bit that it's missing from his career. So I hope he pulls it off.
Yeah,
We haven't
Like
seen
slapstick
that.
kind of comedy.
Comedy
a
film.
joke. We haven't seen him in comedy.
Yeah.
Well, we maybe in maybe rom-coms, I guess, but
Simon Pegg is a safe pair of hands, I think.
I don't know much about him.
I love him.
I mean, I just know him from like Mission Impossible and Son of the Dead, but
I mean, he's great. Mission Impossible, Shaun of the
Cornetto
Dead,
film.
Star Trek.
Oh, Star Trek.
Oh, that's what I really randomly ended up watching. I somehow got myself into, because it was basically on 3 nights in a row in Ireland over Christmas, I watched the whole J.J. Abrams Star Trek trilogy.
Wow.
Complete, and they're so good. They are so good as like
I could get into that.
as like fun science fiction movies. They're really, really good.
So is that like the Patrick Stewart, like a remake of that
So
era?
it's so it's a reboot of the like the original Captain Kirk, the William Shatner era. So it's Chris Pine is playing Captain Kirk, Simon Pegg is playing Scotty, the guy from Hero, Zachary Quinto's playing Spock. Who else is in it? There's loads of people. So Carl Urban, who's like basically king of the nerds, plays Hank McCoy. And then it's just really good. And then the third one is just a really solid, like fun sci-fi movie, which they all are. And I think Simon's a safe pair of hands.
So what's in your watch list? Because Simon, you made a good point before we started recording that we should probably start telling people what we're planning to watch.
Yeah. So my one is The Old Oak.
Yes.
Which I've already said I'm going to watch, but I haven't had time. But I'm definitely going to watch it in the next couple of weeks.
Cool.
Where can we find that?
I don't know actually.
Okay.
I think I'm going to try and watch Dune now off the back of this conversation. I'm going to try and try and watch.
Be prepared for an hour of slowness, and then it ramps up after about an hour and a half.
Dude, I watched Rebel Moon. There cannot be anything as slow as that fucking movie. Don't you worry. There's so much slow-mo in that film. It feels like you're watching it at half pace.
It's very much a popcorn movie. Like, get your popcorn, warm it up.
Yeah, I'm like, it's like a
Have a
Saturday
glass
night
of
movie.
wine.
Yeah.
Like just
get a takeaway.
Yeah,
Ooh,
exactly.
Sit down and enjoy myself.
Exactly.
Treat myself.
Yeah.
And what's yours?
So you guys are watching Poor Things as well, because that's gonna be our next final scene. Because the movie's doing the rounds, the Oscar rounds, hopefully as well.
And some general Yorgos.
Yes, if you have time. I mean, Ben, you've watched a couple of his films, but Simon, would be very curious to hear your.
School me on this director because I don't know anything about him.
Let's do that in the next episode.
Okay.
But
I mean, a quick
praise.
Greek, cool, weird. There
Greek,
you go.
cool,
In 3 words.
Super eccentric. I am massively I'm positively surprised by how much he has taken off, because he's so bizarre as a director. Like, he's the kind of director you would only see in super eccentric film festivals. So it's been interesting how he's gotten actors like Colin Farrell and Rachel Weisz so early on in his career to just just to hear his own thing. I mean, what I told you earlier, his positioning in my view is very much nurture over nature, and he wants to build on that. But I'm looking forward to what you guys think. Yeah, very quirky.
I'm just looking forward to rewatching The Lobster. I love that film.
Oh,
I watched it the first time. I think I bought it on DVD. I'm actually annoyed at myself that I haven't seen The Favourite. It's one of those ones that I've been meaning to watch it for so long because it looks so brilliant, and I just haven't gotten around to it.
I also have a feeling it's short. I feel like it's 90 minutes. I feel like it's a short. Yeah, it's like a dreamy.
The dream.
I hope
a 90-minute
so.
film. My God, the last couple of movies I've watched have all been 2 hours plus.
Yeah. So what's on my watch list? I wanna watch Anatomy of a Fall because I'm hearing great things, and Sandra Hüller is supposed to be amazing in that. Holdovers. I don't know if that's out in the UK. I missed it at LFF. I don't know if it's out in the UK yet.
It might just be out in the States because they probably pushed it out quickly to get the Oscar nominations.
I'm just hearing great things, and sounds like a great crowd pleaser. I want to rewatch Maestro because I really liked it at LFF, and I just want to give it a rewatch.
Even though Cillian Murphy has to win the Oscar.
Yes, he has to, and he deserves it. To be fair, I feel like if I were to give an Oscar to that film, it would be to Carey Mulligan. But
if he doesn't win, we riot.
Yes. Yes. Oh, and you didn't see Killers of the Flower Moon?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
I will watch it. I feel like I
Yeah.
need someone to tell me, okay, watch it for an hour and then stop at this point, then watch it for another hour and stop at this point, so I can watch it in like chunks. Because it's like 3 hours and some like 50
Yeah,
minutes, is it? It's like
just-
super long.
Like knowing you, I feel like you will not get bored. It just doesn't. It's like a Scorsese film that it just
Yeah.
like it has every.
But it's
every
also
scene-
just, when do I have 4 hours to watch?
No, that's true. That's true. I think you can do it in 2 breaks. I think
Like
you can do.
yeah, like I love Scorsese, but also like, when the fuck do I have 4
Yeah.
hours to watch? And I'm not like, and listen, I don't have a very exciting life. I'm not a very busy person. But like, when does anyone have 4 hours to sit down and watch a film?
I feel you. Which is why
Not
was
that
it
I
at
don't love
8
the
a.m.
man.
in the morning on Saturday? That's how.
Yeah, perfect timing. Yeah,
Yeah, 8
you
to
know.
11.
Some people
straight
get
for
up and go
breakfast.
for brunch.
Yeah.
Some people go for a run. You get up and watch 4 hours of movies. I mean, why not?
I keep looking at William Shatner jokes.
I mean, I
give us some-
I
come
can
on,
tell you're
come on.
distracted.
Give
What's
us some
happening?
Give us
Yeah.
some William Shatner jokes, please.
What happened when the USS Enterprise got a new toilet?
Oh my god.
William Shatner.
Are they all poop jokes?
Why does the Star Trek uniform stink?
Because William Shatner.
They're literally all like that. Just read that actor Maria Mercedes broke off her engagement to William Shatner. She realized she'd be known as Maria Shatner Mercedes. Sorry, I'll stop.
No, you're good. You're good. I love how you. I love how you ended up in a
Sorry.
William Shatner
Maria
rabbit
Shatner
hole.
Mercedes
Yeah.
is
Well,
fantastic.
because I have to like Google stuff as you guys are talking about it, so I end up in these little rabbit holes.
Well, there's something to watch for you if you get the time. I would recommend the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies. They're good,
Cool.
like and they're short as well. They're like the middle one's about 2 hours, but I think 1 and 3 are about 90 minutes.
Oh,
Just satisfying and a good beat and some Beastie Boys, some good soundtracks to them.
Ooh.
sorry. I don't know why you saying J.J. Abrams like made my brain click.
Made you click.
But the Iron Claw. Yeah, that's the film that
Yeah,
I'm
the
looking
wrestling
forward
movie.
to. Yeah, I have no idea what to expect, but it's been a while since we've got like a good wrestling film. So I hope, this fills
Yeah, I
the
can't
gap.
remember the last good wrestling movie apart from The Wrestler.
The rest, yeah, I think that was it. Oh,
Yeah.
well, it's great, technically, like boxing.
Yeah, it's
well,
boxing.
yeah.
If- bit of
Once I've watched the Ken Loach Old Oak film, it's blatantly going to be very depressing.
Yeah.
What should I watch afterwards to pep up with?
Star Trek, that'll lighten the mood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
You get an out. Eric Bana.
Yeah.
You get an oddly kind of aggressive and camp bad guy performance
Iconic.
from Eric Bana. There's one scene where he basically just introduces himself on a call where he's like, what's your name? He's like, my name's Christopher Pike. He's like, hi Christopher, I'm Nero. And it's just like, it's oddly camp and yet he's just really weird and brilliant at it. But
This
it's really
guy
good.
has such a bizarre career.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I know Eric Bana from this really good film from like around early 2000s.
You mean Troy?
No.
But he has that really random career though. He's got Troy. He's in Black Hawk Down. He's in. He was
I
the
love
Incredible
Troy.
Hulk in the.
Why am I thinking
originally?
of a guy with a massive cock?
What?
Isn't he in the
Are
weird?
you thinking of Deuce Bigelow? No, not
No.
Deuce Bigelow. Are you thinking of Boogie Nights?
No.
That's Mark Wahlberg. Are you
What's
thinking
he
of?
in? Some
Is
weird.
he in?
Why do we talk? Were we talking
Hang
about?
on, is he in Boogie Nights?
No, I mean no. That's too early. That's like 90s.
Are you googling Eric Bana big cock?
Oh my god, you're gonna get banned.
What is it?
If anyone's
Chopper. That's why I was thinking of cock.
Chopper. Yeah, he plays a gangster,
Chopper.
doesn't he?
really good. It's where Eric Bana plays a serial killer,
Oh,
isn't it?
He's like a gangster, isn't he?
Oh, is he a gangster? I can't remember. It's a
Or
really
he's
good
like,
film.
he's like a criminal, I thought. Yeah.
Chopper is a 2000 Australian crime drama film written and directed by Andrew Dominic in his debut. Blah 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 blah. The film stars Eric Bana.
wait, when was that?
The
2000.
film follows Reed's life and time in prison. Yeah, he's like a gangster dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. I recommend it.
Right, because
It's got that really weird
I think
cover,
there's a
isn't
naked
it?
scene in it or something.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah.
I would recommend The Dry, 2020 film from him, also Australian. Aaron Falk returns to his drought-stricken hometown to attend a tragic funeral, but his return opens a decade-old wound, the unsolved death of a teenage girl. It's pretty good. It's like a decent like detective film, but
Yeah.
you know, it's like
I hope he's
anything
a nice
Australian
guy.
is good.
I hope he's a nice guy. He seems like the kind of bloke who'd be like a nice guy.
Oh yeah,
Wait,
You know.
I would go. Yeah, I would go for.
I
a
found the
film.
Eric Bana penis scene in Chopper because it came up top of the list.
Oh goodness.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. We are entering.
Wait,
all I can
wait,
say
wait.
is, while we're listening to this clip, Sophie nor I can see the screen.
Oh thank
No.
god.
All
Something
we've
very
gotten-
bad just came
all
on
we've
then.
gotten is Simon's face, and it has just gone bright.
Oh yeah.
red.
I think I'm on a porn website, which is why the advert is very rude.
goodness.
This is the scene. Oh, I don't know how to do this. Wait, you guys can watch it.
What?
This is why I thought. Look,
I'm okay.
this is the-
Hang on, what
this is
website?
it.
What website are you on?
don't know.
Oh my Jesus Christ! Yeah,
That's the scene.
Why are we even
asmen.asrude.com.
interesting?
AZ nude.
Why is his
Oh,
cock
as
out?
new-
Because there's a
AZ
scene where he's in a bar and it's a really posh bar and everyone's dressed really nice and then he's just got his cock hanging out. I don't know. I can't remember what the
At a
context is.
bar.
Yeah. He's making a point. I can't remember what the
Right.
thing was about.
I'm
but
just
anyway.
like,
That's
okay.
why my brain remembered that. I'm not completely mad.
Okay.
Well, he doesn't
Well,
get
what's
his cock
the
out in
dry?
Star Trek, but he is.
And the
good in
film's
it.
called Chopper, which is a word for cock, isn't it?
I don't know. We've talked
In
about
an Australian, maybe? I can't remember.
maybe. Yeah.
We
Any
w- we
Australians,
went on
let
a
us know.
Eric Bana rabbit hole. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to rewatch that now.
Yeah, strange career. But I forgot he was in.
That's in my DVD box at home.
Really?
Chopper, yeah.
He was in Dirty John, like that iconic Netflix series.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he was playing like a creepy dude. He went down the Richard Armitage era, subgenre. I feel like
yeah,
Richard
of
Armitage
sle-
is
of
taking
sle-
that Netflix creepy, husband
Yeah,
trope.
creepy dudes with sharp jawlines.
Exactly.
Yeah, men who, when you look at them, you're like, I don't trust you.
Yeah, for sure.
And yet somehow women fall in love with him, marry him, and then inevitably he probably fakes his death and then
They-
fucks up their life.
Oh, that
This
sounds
is-
just like Double Jeopardy. That's literally the plot of Double Jeopardy.
This
The film
is
starts
literally
off, they're on the boat, they're in love.
Yep.
They literally couldn't be any more in love.
yeah.
And then the
You're
next,
like doing the voiceover at the start.
Yeah.
Like, they couldn't have been happier.
and literally the next morning, he's gone. He's faked his own death.
That's the plot of Fool Me Once, the
I'm
latest
sorry. Yeah, I'm
Netflix
watching.
series.
I watched the first episode.
Oh, don't.
I think this
Well,
might be,
you can.
no, we're gonna
but
watch it.
it's-
We're gonna watch it.
it's
We're-
this
horrible.
might be
doing
the
it.
plot of around 20% of all Hollywood films.
Well, I think Netflix has found like a great subgenre there, and like there are so many films
And
in the back of that.
it's called Harlan Coben books. Is basically what it is.
Yes, that's what it is.
If he
Yeah.
wrote it, if he writes it, they will come. Is basically their motto. It's like the fucking Wayne's World thing.
I love
If Harlan
some-
Coben
yeah.
writes it, the people will come watch it.
I love some Michelle Keegan though. She's really good.
Oh, she gets maced in the first episode, and it's fucking hilarious.
It is hilarious.
It's
It's so bad.
funny. She gets pepper sprayed,
Yeah.
and it is like it shouldn't be funny, but it's fucking gas.
By her nanny, by the way.
Yeah.
It's just like next level shit. Yeah. I would love reactions. I would love
Yeah,
reactions
I'll
when
talk
you get
about
to
it
the
in the
ending.
next episode. Don't
Cool.
worry.
Okay. That was really fun.
Yeah.
It was great to catch up with you guys.
Good to be back.
Yeah. Okay.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, I guess. Okay, so next up we have a Lanthimos dedicated episode. We have Poor Things final scene, and we may hopefully go on the actual debate that we've been talking about for like 3 years now.
Yeah.
Desert Island, because as I said last time, I'm making a case for In the Loop against Death of Stalin. So we can talk about
Be
some
prepared.
Iannucci.
The claws are about to come out. It's
Action.
going to be good.
It's going to be a civilized debate because both are great films, by the way. Like, and I want to put that on record. Like, let's set the record straight.
The most uncivilized, civilized debate we can have.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Very diplomatic.
Yes.
I'll bring like a bell. It'll be like a wrestling match. I'll be like,
Are we going to top trumpet
We haven't. We're still.
on my special categories? That only
your
my films
yeah,
can
your
win?
special categories are designed so your films win every time. Yeah. Has it got the Simon factor?
Has it got the Simon factor?
My film has a Simon factor of 10, and it seems on your list, on my list, yours has a factor
Is
of
Robin
1.
Williams in it?
Yeah. Was it made in the 90s? Oh.
Awesome. Can't wait to be back. See you in 2 weeks. Bye bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Did you like it? Did you like that?
Did I like it? I loved it.
I had no idea you could milk a cat.
I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
Good morning.
Morning. Good morning.
Oh, and in case I don't see you,
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.